Hi, everybody. Chris from Divine Key, spelled QI, with your Workout Wednesday. Um, Jumping on, making sure everything works. Welcome, everybody who's here. And if you don't catch me live, then hashtag replay for me so that I know you caught me on the replay. Welcome to Divine Key Spiritual Gym. And we do these Workout Wednesdays every week. We dive in for 10 to 15 minutes on how you can work that spiritual muscle. So today is a little bit different. I'm doing a how to. So, what I thought I would do, what I normally do before I start the Workout Wednesday is I will typically pull a card or use one of my intuitive tools to get an idea of a theme to talk about. Sometimes that's the way I do it. So today, that's what we're doing. I haven't decided on a theme to talk about. I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite Smith tarot. So it's like the traditional tarot, but I redesigned a bit, made more vibrant. Oops, that's the way the cards look. One just flew out, which is kind of funny. It'll be interesting to see whether or not we get this card um, when I pull them. So let me see. It went flying all the way across the room. What came out was the Page of Swords when I went to show you it. So let's see if it comes back out when I shuffle. So here we are. I'm going to pull a card, and I'm doing this live because I want you to see the process. This is one of the ways that you can use these intuitive tools to help with day-to-day things or to get you moving again if you feel stuck. Different ways. It's not just like, it doesn't have to be like a life-changing decision. It can just be like, oh, I need an idea. I need to get the creative juices started. So this is one way to do it. So I'm just shuffling. I'm going to shuffle in this. There's different ways to do it. Some people just shuffle and then pull a card out. I'm going to shuffle until I have a jumper. And a jumper is one that comes out of the deck of its own accord. A lot of times I'd like to go with jumpers because it feels to me that that is the one that Source really wants me to talk about. So right now what I'm asking is, what is today's theme? What should we talk about for Workout Wednesday? What will people find useful in their lives this week to work on their intuitive spiritual muscle? So one ended up on top of the deck, so that's the one we're going to pick. And we got the 10 of Wands, so we didn't get the Page of Swords. So the 10 of Wands, this is the way it works then. So I see 10 of Wands, and I'm going to hold this up so you can see what I'm talking about as I go through this. So today's theme, I'm going to hold it up for a while at least. So today's theme is going to be about taking on too much. It's important, even in spiritual work, that you don't overburden yourself. And it can be that you can be very passionate about a lot of things. And what's curious about this is energy, is that even if you're passionate, even if you feel like you want to do a lot of different things, ultimately it doesn't benefit you. You lose sight of your end game, I guess I want to call it. I don't like to call it a goal necessarily because goals can shift, but even the next step is sometimes difficult to see when you take on too much. So today's theme is talking about how do you progress? What do you do when you have all these different things that you're interested in? Or maybe it's even, a lot of times this shows up for people when they volunteer. So it's not even like when they work on something that is income or progresses their career. Very often this can be sports, even for, like, I'm thinking of my children, how easy it can be to become overwhelmed if you are involved in multiple activities because you have the opportunity in school to do different things. But none of them get the energy that it deserves or requires for you to feel its full benefit. So, out of 78 cards, which is what a full deck of tarot is, it's 78 cards, we got the message in today's spiritual gym to work our muscle that allows us to decide on choosing one thing that's important, one thing at a time, or one or two things. This is important because you want to fully express whatever energy is coming in. If you really love something, give it a chance. Give it a chance to really bloom fully before moving on to the next thing. And I'm really, really guilty of this. I'm an Aries and I like to start things. That is what I do. It's one of the reasons I'm a breakthrough coach. Because the type of coaching I do is I get you going. I get you moving through the muck. I get you started. And I'm not really great at maintaining, which is, where a great partnership would be for me, is to work with another coach that is really good at putting the processes in place that allows the continuous success that goes on. So this card talks about doing too many individual things at once instead of choosing one thing, deciding that's the most important thing right now, or the top two things, and moving forward with it. So I encourage you this week to take a look at the things that you are carrying. And the things that you are carrying can be things that you enjoy or things that other people have requested of you or expect of you, and really decide which things you want to carry forward right now. Now, just because you lay some of these wands aside, some of these obligations or desires aside, doesn't mean they're gone forever. You can always come back around and pick them back up again. You can switch out whichever wands you want. We are at the 10 of Wands here, which is an end card. So 10s also remind you that everything goes in cycles. So at the end of the suit, you come to a 10, and that's a conclusion of a cycle. And the very next card coming in will be the ace. And aces are new beginnings. So when you work with a tool like tarot, this is one way to do it. You pull a card. I do this every day for myself because, let's face it, we always have questions. I do. I have questions every single day. I'm constantly curious about multiple things. But often I will sit down with my cup of coffee and I will pull a card. And if you go back in my Facebook page of Divine Key, spelled QI, and you go way back, you'll see that starting in like 2016, I did a full 2 years every day of posting the cards that I pull. And then I got away from that a little bit. So that was a wand I held for a while and then I put it aside. So this is something you can do. If you have a tool, if you have oracles or tarot, you can pull a card and just get a bead on the energy for the day or the theme for the day or what the focus should be for the day. So all those different things can be answered with one card. It's interesting because often tarot readers that I see will pull a ton of cards. And there's the misguided belief that more cards gives you clearer information. And what I have found personally in 40 years of working with the tarot is that often less cards will give you a much clearer idea of what's going on. Now you can pull clarifiers because some things are ambiguous and you're not quite sure what it's trying to tell you. This one's very clear. It's telling you that you're coming to the end of a cycle and that it's important to inspect what you're carrying. And if it's a burden, if it's not something that is of value right now, it's okay to put it down. Travel lightly. You can go much further with 2 wands. you can even use them to help support you along the way, like ski poles or, you know, walking sticks, right? It can help you along and get further than trying to carry everything at once. So, the message of today's theme is to be willing to inspect the burdens that you carry and decide to travel lightly. Decide what is important to you, not what someone else says is important, not what you feel obligated to, not what's going to bring you the most money. This is not about the money. Wands are about what makes you feel alive. It is your passion, it is the thing that energizes you. So, really, I encourage you to take a moment today or sometime this week and stretch the spiritual muscle that says, what excites me? What is energizes me? And to be willing to let go of those things that do not energize you and bring more in of the things that do energize you. And also remember that this is not a forever thing. You can carry the two wands that you've decided on moving forward, and then you can at some point put those down and pick up something different. So give yourself a chance to really explore fully a few of the things that you enjoy. So that's how it works. I mean, that's pretty much how I pick the themes. Often I will pull this in the morning of a Wednesday. I'll pull a card from one of my decks and I get different messages. The exact same card in a different deck could give you a slightly different nuance. Now, underlying, it's a very similar message because tarot is built on a system. So there are traditional meanings, but the art and the energy of the person who creates the art comes through and gives you a bit of a different nuance, which is why I have different decks. But this is what I do. I pull a card and I listen to the story. I listen to the message that comes through. So you can do this with anything. You can just open a book if you don't have tarot, or if for some reason you're not resonating with tarot, you can use an oracle deck, or you can just take a book. You could even take something like the Bible and open it to a passage and then receive the information for the day and see where it guides you. So that's how you use the tools of intuition. And I hope that was really helpful. And I hope that in the future, you actually pick up the tools that you have and you start using them. And if you want to know more about how to use the tools, I do have a membership I want to mention that allows you, if you go out to my website, you can join my membership and you can get one-on-one connectivity with me. You can get a Reiki session or a coaching session, and it's 20% off. So as part of the membership, you can have, once you join, then you can choose what you want for that month. And you can book additional sessions, and they're also at the membership price. So check it out if you want. If it's something that you want to do regularly, that might be an option for you. But any way that you look at it, with me or with another practitioner, I really encourage you to explore the tools that you have and see how you can use them on the regular, like on a day-to-day thing, and not put it aside for those big moments, but really just use it as a regular supportive way of going through your life. So be well, and thanks for joining me. And hopefully we'll see you next week at Workout Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. Now, I did want to mention also the times might be changing. I'm going to be trying some different time frames because I'm not getting a lot of people live at 10 o'clock on a weekday. So I'm going to see what else might work. And I hope everyone's well. So we'll talk to you soon. Be well. Thanks for joining me. Bye.